Okay, so in your Google Classroom, you have this 4-5. It's an assignment that needs to be turned in, but you also have a sheet in front of you. You can do it on a separate sheet if you happen to lose it or not have it. So here is the zombie flipbook. You will open it up. Are you there? You have your show your worksheet in front of you. So I'm going to write my name, right? Mrs. Lobb, don't write Mrs. Lobb, but write your name, right? It's kind of obviously hard to see. Hopefully that makes it a little bit bigger. Now, in this first box right here, write down the page you are on, which is page 1. So up in the corner, I'm writing 1, or you could write page 1 if that makes you feel better. So this is page 1. We're first going to write down the problem. It says math class always seems to put a glazed look on everyone's faces, right? However, today everyone seems even more distracted than normal. Sounds about right. So we're going to write down this problem with variables on 2 sides. So I'm writing down the problem. 14 plus 4x equals 2 minus 2x. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I want you to be able to see full on the work. All right. Looking at this, we have a variable term, a constant, an equal sign, a constant, a variable term. Mr. Walls, if you need to go, the door's there, but I'd like to stop asking you to be quiet. Okay, thank you. So, what are we going to do first? What are your ideas? We're trying to figure out what x equals. Answering it would be a good idea, yeah. So we have to move it so we only have variable terms on one side, right? So I could add 2x to both sides, or I could subtract 4x. So I'm going to write plus 2x. Notice I'm doing it right where I can combine it to on the right. I'm going to bring down my equal sign so there's no confusion. And I'm going to write plus 2x on the left. Notice I'm doing it right below my 4x, not under my 14, because I can't combine 2x with 14, right? Then I'm going to draw a big line, and I'm going to combine any like terms. 14 plus nothing is just 14, so that's coming down. 4x plus 2x is what? 6x, and since it's positive, I need a plus sign there. I bring down my equal sign. I can't combine 2 with anything, I just have a 2, and these positive and negatives make 0. Now, we're to a 2-step equation like we were yesterday. How do I get rid of the constant that's on the side of the x? Negative. Good. It's positive, so if we take the opposite of it, so if we subtract 14 from the left, we also have to subtract 14 from the right. 14 minus 14 is 0, so that goes hasta la bye-bye. Bring down your 6x, your equal sign. What's 2 minus 14? Negative 12. Now this is what 6x equals. Remember, when I have a number next to a letter, it means they're being multiplied. So it's good. You're telling me the answer, kind of. So we're dividing both sides by 6 now. And we end up with x equals, what's negative 12 divided by 6? Negative 2. So this is our answer to page 1. So now I'm going to go, maybe, to share my screen with you again. Which one of these is the correct answer? Was my correct answer 2? No, it was -2. So I'm going to turn to page 14. So right away on my paper, I'm going to, in the next spot, write page 14. And that way I'll be able to follow where I went. So, do you see how these are numbered along the side? I'm going to page 14. Here's page 14. As long as you're following the steps and showing your work, you will be fine. Whatever, they're all going to fail if they don't start paying attention soon, you think to yourself. Guess I'll just be the only one listening to Mrs. Burns. Wait, did she say x equals -2? Or that she ate 2 brains? Ugh. All right, so here's our next problem. We're writing it down in this next box. I noticed I probably needed a little bit more room, so I'm going to write a little bit smaller, but trying to keep it neat still. 15.3 plus x equals 1.3 minus x. And now I'm going to solve. So remember, I have to either move my x on the left to the right or the one on the right to the left. So to get rid of this positive x, I would subtract an x. To get rid of this negative x, I would add an x. Which do you want to do? You want to subtract an x or add an x? Okay, so if I add an x to the right to make this 0, I also need to add an x to the left. So now I'm just bringing down my equation. I bring down the 15 3/10. What is x plus x? 2x, right? My coefficient, if it's just x, is like a 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And I need a plus in front of it because it is positive. Then I have an equal sign and that 1 3/10 on the right because my variable on the right went away. Guys, we're still following the same procedure for two-step equations now, even though we're dealing with decimals. How do I get the constant on the left side away from my variable of x? How do I get this 15 3/10 out of here? Just cross it out. It's done. We don't have to worry about it. We have to subtract it. It's positive, so if we take that many negative, it becomes 0. So whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. Now, this may be where your handy-dandy calculator comes in, or, no, your signs are different. So if I'm subtracting 3/10, my tenths over here go away. And if I'm subtracting 1, my 15 becomes 14. But is it positive or negative? Negative, because this number, the negative number, had a greater absolute value than the positive. And then I bring down my equal sign and the 2x. Excellent. I'm dividing both sides by 2 now because when I have a number next to a letter, x equals what? -7. So be careful that you are cautious of your integer operations, that you're not getting a positive answer when it's a negative answer, right? So now, when I look to see my answers down here, page 36, very good. Now, in the past, when I have assigned this to my students, sometimes, like, if your answer was a number, you might want to turn to that page, right? So if your answer was 7, you might turn to page 7. So be careful that you're looking for the correct answer here and what page that's telling you to go to. So in this case, page 36, do you want me to let you go on your own, or you want to keep going a couple more? All right, we'll do 2 more. So here on page 36, okay, she definitely said brains. Time to find a place to hide. Quick. You dart under your desk, but you don't think that will trick your zombie classmates for long. All right, so I've got 6x plus 14 is equal to 4 plus 4x. Please, please, please be sure that you're putting the page number so I can follow your work and help you if something comes up. If you make a mistake somewhere, right? I have variables on both sides. I either need to get rid of the 6x or the 4x. They're both positive, so I would be subtracting both. So what do you want to do? Subtract the 4x? Whatever I do to the right side, I have to do to the left side. So I have 2x, right? 6 minus 4 is 2. Don't forget your variable. Bring down the 14, so it's just plus 14. Bring down your equal sign. Bring down your 4. 4 minus 4 is 0 here. All right, and then we just have a two-step equation. So are we going to subtract 4 from both sides or subtract 14? Subtract 14. If we subtracted 4, we wouldn't be any closer to getting the x by itself. But it's okay if you're trying things. Bring down the 2x. 14 minus 14 became 0. Bring down your equal sign. What's 4 minus 14? Negative 10. How do I get x by itself? Divide by 2, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1x, good. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. What page does that take us to? Back to page 3. Don't spoil it for us. Be sure you're showing all your work, because again today, just like yesterday, you're going to turn this in as well. Okay? In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the only thing you're getting scored on today, but you're really just turning this in to show me that you're done. Okay? So page 3. You got to go up here to page 3 to get one more problem to do together, and then you're on your own. Page 3. While you are trying to figure out your survival strategy, you notice the class hamster Hammy in her cage. She looks hungry, but you can't tell if she's craving hamster food or brains. So 2 plus 6x is equal to 11 minus 3x. What do I do first? Add the 3x to both sides. That will get my variables away from the right and only on the left. So I'm bringing down my 2. I have a plus what? What's 6x plus 3x? 9x is equal to 11. Is that right? Because this became 0. Now what do I do? Am I subtracting 2 from both sides or 11 from both sides? If I subtract 11 from both sides, I'm not getting rid of this thing that's next to the x. So I have to subtract 2 from both sides. So I have 9x is equal to 9. Some of you guys freak out after this. You divide by 9 and you're like, x equals 0. What? No. Guys, when you divide something by itself, it becomes 1. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So this apparently is going to take us to page 16 according to page 17. Sorry, I was wrong. Page 17. So now we're going to page 17 and we have a fraction. Does that mean you want me to do it with you? Yes. I will do 1 to remind you of the reciprocal. The multiplicative inverse is the same as its reciprocal. And remember, the multiplicative inverse gets us 1. Yay, it looks like Hammy is still a regular hamster who's hungry for some hamster pellets. You decide to take her with you so she doesn't become zombie food. You get ready to make your mad dash to freedom, but first you need a zombie fighting weapon. All right, so I'm writing down my negative 2/3 x plus 5 is equal to 20 minus x. Oh, you guys and your fractions. You don't love them yet? All right, so I can either add 2/3 x to both sides or add x to both sides. Can we just add x to both sides? Please?
Stop it.
You guys, this is essentially 1 minus 2/3, right? This is 1, and this is negative 2/3. So I have 1 minus 2/3. I'm talking about their coefficients, right? Good. So 1 I could rewrite as 3 parts out of 3. Minus 2/3 is what? What's 3/3 minus 2/3? 1/3. So I've got 1/3 x plus 5 is equal to 20. Am I subtracting 20 from both sides or subtracting 5? I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. That gets it away from my variable, what I don't know. So I'm left with 1/3 x is equal to 15. How do I make 1/3 1? Multiplicative inverse. I have to multiply by its reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/3? Flip it. 3/1. That's the reciprocal. 3/1 is just 3, right? So I'm multiplying both sides by 3. This becomes 1 because 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we have x, or 1x, is equal to, what's 15 times 3? 45. All right, hopefully that will keep you plugging now. I will go back and see what page I'm going to go to next. Page 24. And you've got a little decimal, but I think you can handle it. So I'm writing the equation for x plus 8 is equal to 7 2/10, or 7.2, plus 5x. All right, then you're going to go through, figure out which one of these pages you're going to rewriting it. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions. This may be one. Well, you guys are probably okay. You've got over 10 minutes. But this may be one that we have to finish up tomorrow. So remember, get this done. Get this turned in. This showing your work page. Mark it as done. Remember, if you go to the wrong page, it's going to tell you something like try again. So go back to the page you were on and fix your answer, okay? That's what's nice about this, is it's self-checking. So if we screwed up and went to the wrong page, we would get a message, try again, and you'll have to go back and see what you did wrong to get a different answer. Okay? All right. Well done today. Keep working. I'll be around.